and you're live with Hal Gill, your host, and the passing show. We're just outside of Jeff Bezos' home. It's surveillance cameras here, keeping a watch. Pretty dark on this end of the double mansion he purchased after the textile museum moved out, and he had it rehabbed pretty thoroughly. He got 25 bathrooms, I understand, in here. I don't know why anyone needs 25 bathrooms, but then again, the super rich are different than us. Embassy of China's ambassador's home back behind me. I think I heard that Jeff bought one or the two of these houses across the street. One of them has real gas lights. That's probably it. Though I don't know. Really, this is his place here. Very dark. Somebody's Mustang parked out front. 3007 AD license plate on that Mustang. That probably has some degree of significance. And so we're making our way. And here's the embassy of or rather the I don't know what I want there. The museum, the Wilson House, Woodrow Wilson House, his home after the presidency. Little balcony up there, and 2340. So registered National Historic Landmark since 1965. You can schedule your visit. It's a rental. And then this place. Somebody's little Lexus parked out front. Cute little car. Somebody's true on this windows. Immense car. Let's to ride. I don't know. House has a nice curved staircase. This one's garage is open. That's unusual. Hello, beautiful. Yes, hi. Love dogs. This one's been rehabbed recently, too, I think. It's a beautiful V8 bi-turbo Mercedes Jeep. This GL something or others. This one's an AMG. So the Dutch ambassador's residence there, Pakistani ambassadors, Mauritanian ambassador's place. Embassy of Chad down here behind the trees. There it is. At S and 24th. And I'm going to head across. Making my way down towards the Exxon at Wisconsin Avenue. If all goes well, I'll get my key back and can take the car away. It's been really frustrating. I've had it there all summer with the idea that he was fixing it. And then he tells me he can't fix it. Darn it. I hope I can get some more miles out of it. I kind of doubt it. I think I'm probably going to have to donate it. It's been a good car, though. Ford Escape Hybrid 2007 model. Had it since the fall of 2006, right about the time I moved into Tony Gallo's basement apartment, 125 7th Street Southeast. And that was a nice place to perch, a couple blocks from Eastern Market from 2007 into 2008, or 2006 to 2008. A couple of years. A bleak period of my life in some ways, but I met Lynn during it and married her, and now I've been pretty stable ever since. Pretty stable. It's all relative. Can't go, can I? Well, not until that changes. Even though there's not much traffic. Much pushed. Much pushed. The Embassy of Croatia behind me with St. Jerome, head in hand. First doctor of the church. Here we go. And now, a little walk. Sign. There's a shared Korean-American legacy. It's part of the Korean embassy, I believe, to the United States, South Korean anyway. I don't know, you know? I just know how things seem to me. I could be wrong. Try to see in a state of perpetual ignorance. Nice to have you all joining us. I see we've got quite a bit. 12 people for the passing show this evening. Washington, D.C. We're walking down through Sheridan, Colorado. There's some of the homes around and vehicles people have parked out in front of them. Just musing to myself and to you all. Florian Berkmeyer, MD joined, Howard, Michael joined, David, Broderick, Candace, The Bigger Lie, and Jay Sharp. Thank you all. The bold insight, Kathy, Les, Keith, K. Stoner. Good to see you again. Kevin T. and Bruno Blockchain, Michelle Dowd, Lee. Enemies of Art is joined. Hey, Enemies of Art. You, Eddie? I think you're the only human in Enemies of Art, right? Interested in your work. And, yeah, maybe not maybe my style, but, is what it is. Here's a nice piece of art. I always liked this one. I don't have any idea what it's about. 2342 on, where am I on? Massachusetts, I think. I forget. Yes, Massachusetts Avenue. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to get to the Exxon, pick up my car. Forgot all about it until now. I was going to do it earlier in the day, but then I got waylaid by different things coming up. Did 90 minutes with Kay Stoner. That was a lot of fun. Talking about AI and the wailing and gnashing of teeth and the finger pointing going on. I was in David A. Endelman's Zoom conversation today with about, 10 other people, maybe. A very nice young lady, reporter for the BBC, was our guest of honor. And she's well informed on South American subjects, apparently, and has a background in Morocco, and a tribal language that very few people speak there, which is part of the ancient Berber culture, which is related to barbarian, Baba. The ancient Romans considered people who didn't speak Latin to be saying blah, 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 and therefore called them barbarians for Baba, Berber, whatever. It's interesting cultures. Predates Arabic. So I learned a little bit. And tried to share some of my own perspectives. It was difficult to do as I was getting shut down, which I did not appreciate. But, these things happen. People have a hard time listening to other people and not interrupting them. And then there was this sort of oblique reference to let some other voice that we haven't heard yet speak. And I was like, whatever. I think we should all take turns, definitely, but don't call me if you don't want me to speak. And certainly I won't be speaking there again because, that kind of thing just doesn't wash with me. Sad, really, in some ways, that we can't have conversations in which we can respectfully disagree. Anyway, that's on all of our minds these days, right? Or should be. TGN, that must be Turkey. The diplomats for Turkey have space here. There's Ataturk himself in bronze. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, 1881 to 1938, was the founder and first president of the Republic of Turkey. And the white stone building behind the statue, purchased under Ataturk in 1936, served as the embassy until 1989, and it's now the embassy's official residence. The two capitals, Ankara and Washington, D.C., became sister cities in 2011. It's interesting. And it's the ambassador's car, TLG. Not sure which ambassador TLG is that, trick? Nice Mercedes. Anyway, that was the embassy of Romania, but apparently they've abandoned it for now for some other digs elsewhere. Anyhow, these things happen. We're approaching Dumbarton Bridge, graced with beautiful bronze buffalo on either end. There are four of them, one on each corner. There he is, coming out of the trees there a bit. Sure what kind of tree that is. It's a black walnut growing very close to it, though. I like black walnuts a lot. I love the aromatic that comes off of a black walnut. You know, a lived experience is what we're really after, folks. And if you haven't experienced it, then maybe listen to people who have. I'm not seeing any black walnuts handy. That's okay. There's some up there. Looks like they've all been plucked off by now. Perhaps. The Rock Creek Parkway and the Rock Creek below. Very atmospheric look. Looks like the bigger line says, I'll listen to you. Thank you. That's cool. Yeah, I'll listen to you too. Main thing is, I think that we collectively have created the world that we're experiencing, and we can do better. That's my main message. Every cent we spend is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating, and every action we take has ripple effects that emanate through society. And we need to be more conscious of that, more aware, and inform ourselves and get thoroughly informed before we react. Be slow to react, be quick to forgive, be calm. Was I calm this evening? No. I was just driving over to drop my wife off, and I was bloody angry that I had to walk all the way over here to get the damn car. And I'd forgotten. I was angry at me. Where did that anger go? Waves of it came off of me. And we're coming off of me already because of frustration with our species. God love us. We're primates, for God's sakes. We're not, but animals trying to make our way from darkness to light, trying to make our lives easier through technology, certainly, and other means. And we're in competition with each other way too much. We need to be cooperative and collaborative, right? But we tend to pod off, get ourselves in our machines. We feel very independent of each other. We feel like we have a right to impose our wills on each other. And by doing so, we end up, injuring each other and then retaliating, stepping on the toes of others and retaliating. It's a concept very common among people who are working through an inventory process in recovery. As they realize they're part in things, they look at their actions and how they have acted and then practice self-forgiveness while practicing principles in all their affairs. Ideally, although I see so little evidence of it, I decided to leave the attendance of regular meetings thereof. We just practice these principles in all my affairs to the best of my ability, which my ability sucks at times, you know? That's still what I'm doing. Whether I'm doing it well or not, that's another matter. It was 10 years yesterday since I put out what I had left into a trash can and walked away from alcohol and nicotine. I'm having trouble with my breath. Even now, from having smoked too much over my years, I'm sure that's probably contributing. I'm trying to get healthy, taking a supplement called Mighty Lungs from Gaia Herbs, for instance, among other things. I'm walking. I continue to walk on this earth. I continue to attempt, to the best of my ability, to be a bright light on the horizon, but I'm multimodal. You know, a lot of different modes of being. I get up, I get down. If I'm down, I talk about it. If I'm angry, I talk about it. Reminds me of The Judgment of the Moon and Stars by Joni Mitchell. Got to shake your fists at lightning now. You've got to rage like forest fire. Gotta spread your light like blazes all across the sky. They're gonna aim the hoses on you. Show 'em you won't expire until you've earned out every something. I can't remember the words. Not even when you die. You gotta try. If you're feeling content, oh, then you show it. If you're tired of silent night, Jesus, well, then you yell it. Condemn the wires and hammers, strike every chord that you feel. Broken trees and elephant ironies conceal. That was a beautiful piece of writing Joni did back in the day. I think it might be on For the Roses or yeah, something like that. Yep. Walk on. That was about Beethoven, of course. Gotta shake your fist at lightning now. We gotta rage like forest fire. It's Dumbarton House I'm passing. Oh, Society of the Colonial Dames, I think, have maintained that for years. You see some of the apartments of this older building across the way. So I'm definitely in Georgetown, DC, now that I've crossed the Dumbarton Bridge from Sheridan, Colorado, my neck of the woods. One of these houses, I forget which one, belonged to Bob Woodward of the Washington Post of all the President's Men fame. Saw him in a Safeway some years ago in passing. It's nice to be rubbing shoulders with important historical figures like old Bob. I don't know, man. I just know how things seem to me, and I could be wrong. I might be wrong. But definitely, I'm going to say what I'm picking up. And that is that we need to be cooperative and collaborative and stop being so competitive and definitely stop killing each other. It's no way to settle things. Oh, everyone's going to die eventually, so you don't have to hasten it. Timing is everything. I did see something in that clip. That poor guy was martyred, if you ask my opinion. Agree or disagree, doesn't matter. I mean, use your prefrontal cortexes, people. Got him for a reason. Although we are largely driven by our animal instinct to react rather than respond, to have a gut level, instinctual response. that flashes through our nervous systems faster than we can process. We have different levels of thinking, right? We have the ability to work with abstraction as opposed to always being constantly in the moment, reacting to what's happening around us. It's hard. Let's face it, it's hard. Becomes a vehicle. Oh, it's a good life. We keep on walking. Okay, we got something being said. Those were great seats at the concert the other day. It was a nice distraction from the news of the day, Charlie Kirk. Yes, there were good seats at the Who. And, the Who's out there doing it, have been doing it. They've not been silent on world matters. They've actually been out there on the front lines in many cases. I remember the concert for New York and how the Who came on and did a hell of a performance. I might post that right after I get off of here with my Facebook Live. It was nice to see my car looking all nice and black over here. It's a 2007 Ford Escape Hybrid, and the poor dear's been sitting with Georgetown Exxon now just about all summer long, which really ticks me off a bit. It didn't need to be that way. I could have probably gotten it repaired elsewhere if the guy just told me he couldn't work on it, didn't have the tools, didn't have the right things. He ordered some sort of air conditioning thing for it and then didn't have the right hose. Then he said he couldn't get the right hose. He wasn't going to fix it. So long and short of it, blew my mind. I've been taking my car over to this guy forever. He kept fixing it. Irritated. He's probably going to charge me something too. I'll pay it. I don't care. It's just money. Not worth fighting about. Dang it. I should have been over here this afternoon. But what it could have, should have, they killed me. The seat I had on Wednesday at the Who show was seat 3, row 1, section 3. So I knew I'd be over towards Pete's side of the room. And the young woman next to me is a Smithsonian Air and Space Museum's acquisition archivist who was very delightful to talk to. She just loved the show. We didn't talk much during, of course, but after and before. And Leslie Mendelsohn was opening. Love Leslie. Seen her a lot at the Ardmore Music Hall and smaller venue. And combination with many other artists. I think I first caught her 2017 with John Kadlasick and the Wavy All-Stars. And then she was singing with Amy Helm and another young lady from the Philly area with George Porter Jr. on bass doing Yes We Can that I put up in my post today. Good gosh almighty, we can. If we want to, why can't we? We can make this world a better place than the world in which we live. And I put up Moon Alice's version of that. Lester Chambers, the Chambers brothers, holding forth well into his 80s. God bless him. Got a little bit of an incline here. Can feel it working on me. There's a Keeper Federal defending our nation's borders against cyber attacks. I don't know, man. I always want to research those things. See what's over here. Beautiful houses. $1 million shoeboxes, a friend of mine called them. More than that in many cases. Saw one not long ago, 2 million plus. How bloody hell. I watch my step. I do not need to fall. It takes me a while to get up when I do. Pick up the feet. Always beautiful at night. Yes, it is. Georgetown was. Oh, nice curved driveway on this house. I'm getting there. I can see my destination ahead. The intersection with Wisconsin Avenue and Q Street. You see the movie Georgetown about the murder of an older woman by her Iranian general husband, supposedly. That's happened right up here. Passing that house shortly is the D94 bust. Watching the bricks. A little uneven. There's a hydrangea. Dumbarton Oaks is back up there. Has a beautiful collection of pre-Columbian gold. Something to think about right there. Was lucky to tour that with the staff of the foundry at Williamsburg. Doc Hassel, Dan Berg, Mike Knofsker, and I. Mike's still there at the foundry in 2025. Our trip up here was probably 1986, 87, something like that. Maybe 88. Mike had been summer help for the shop and became the junior apprentice. My buddy Jeffrey Golding, now deceased, got himself fired. And, yep, those are the days. Dan's deceased, Doc's deceased. Bob and I are still breathing, last I heard. He was going through some rough stuff when I went to Dan's funeral. I heard about that from Susie, who'd retired. She'd come into the shop after I'd left. And Roger replaced me. Was there for about 20 years before being laid off, sadly. Put 20 years in a place and then get laid off like that. Well, I'm going to wrap up the passing show as I get to the Exxon station. Sure hope I don't have any cause for anger. I'm just going to be peaceful, getting myself mindseted for that. And here we are. I got cars up on the racks. And it's really sad they couldn't fix mine. But hopefully it runs. That's what we hope. They got a home by it. Just to keep people from hitting it. So getting in here. Old Mustang. First generation. Maybe. It's a pretty terrible looking condition. Non-expiring. All right. And talk to you guys